How's everyone?
If you ever have anything you want me to talk about over here on the news, all you got to do is go ahead and hit up that Discord, and there is a news channel. You can drop whatever articles you would like me to speak about. First off, I'm going to talk about an article by Michael McWhirter. What a powerful name. Which is just going over the PlayStation Plus subscribers games for August. We are just getting a quick handful of games. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, and Ender Lily's Quietus of the Nights. Those are all coming to PlayStation, PS4, PS5. I do have a little graphic here as well, if you would like, you know. Cycle dropped this graphic and I was like, I gotta throw it in there. Like, look how clean this is. I might have done it this way, but I wanted to highlight that sweet topic from the other guy. I can't even remember his name, but he had a powerful name. So yeah, if you are interested, that is starting, I think, next Monday or Tuesday, probably Tuesday or whatever. But you'll be able to pick up any of these games for free as long as you have PlayStation Plus. Discord for Xbox's latest updates lets you watch Discord streams directly from your Xbox. This is a article by Taylor Lyles. Nearly a year after Discord announced that you can stream Xbox game directly on its platform, the popular instant messaging app announced today that the new update is rolling out to Xbox users. In a press release, the company confirmed that Xbox Insider will soon be able to access 3 new Discord features from the Series X, S, and 1. The most notable one is that Xbox owners can watch their friends' Discord streams directly from their Xbox consoles, regardless of whether or not the friend is streaming their games on PC, mobile, or even another Xbox device. The other 2 features include Xbox owners seeing additional information about their Discord friends directly from their Xbox console. Information such as mutual server, friends, and their gamer tags will be visible when using Discord on Microsoft's 8th or 9th generation. Lastly, the new update will allow users to call their Discord friends directly from the Xbox console without using a voice channel to initiate the conversation. Very, very cool. I know that PlayStation has, like, I think those last 2, but I don't know if it has like the being able to watch streams or anything. I haven't checked that out at all, but very cool. I love more and more this integration of Discord into consoles and stuff, because I feel like people on PC, we just all use Discord. It's so super easy and just a really great service, especially for free for most people. It's a good service. I'm glad to see it's getting more and more integration. So okay, so these next couple are all about Bungie and Destiny and a bunch of other things, so we're gonna get into this one in just a second. All right, let me get ahead and get into some of this stuff. I'm not completely sure about all of the details, so I'm gonna really be relying on this and another article specifically, and there's a screenshot of something else too that are gonna really fill me in on what's going on. So this is I don't even think this is necessarily an article. It's technically an article, but this was wrote by Pete Parsons. The new path for Bungie. This morning I'm sharing with all of, oh my god, I need to zoom in. This is too small for my this morning, I'm sharing with all of you some of the most difficult changes we've ever had to make as a studio. Due to the rising cost of development and industry shifting, as well as enduring economic conditions, it has become clear that we need to make substantial changes to our cost structure and focus development efforts entirely on Destiny and Marathon. That means beginning today, 220 of our roles will be eliminated, representing roughly 17% of our studio's workforce. These actions will affect every level of the company, including most of our executives and senior leader roles. This is a difficult and painful day, especially for our departing colleagues, all of which have made important and valuable contributions to Bungie. Our goal is to support them with the utmost care and respect. For everyone affected by the job reduction, we will be offering a generous exit package, including severance, bonus, and health coverage. Very cool. I realize all of this is hard news, especially following the success we have seen with the final shape. But as we're navigating the broader economic realities over the last year, and after exhausting all of our mitigating options, excuse me, this has become a necessary decision to refocus our studio and our business with more realistic goals and viable financials. We are committed to 2 other major changes today that we believe will support our focus, leveraging Sony's strength and create new opportunities for Bungie talent. First, we are developing our integration with Sony Interactive Entertainment, working to integrate 155 of our roles, roughly 12%, into SIE over the next few quarters. SIE has worked tirelessly with us to identify roles for as many of our people as possible, enabling us together to save a great deal of talent that would otherwise have been affected by the reduction in force. Second, we are working with PlayStation Studios leadership to spin out one of our incubated projects, an action game set in a brand new science fantasy universe, to form a new studio within PlayStation Studios to continue its promising development. So I think this is kind of the general statement, at least from what I've seen, because this is kind of going over the same thing. So Sony's Bungie is shrinking from 1,300 people to 850, 220 that are being laid off, 155 that are moving to Sony, and 75-ish that are going to a new studio. We were overly ambitious and whatever, so this is a whole lot of speak of just, hey, we're gonna have to lay some people off. I definitely understand. Well, it's only 220 getting laid off, which is a ton, but I do kind of enjoy that they are doing this 155 to Sony. And maybe I'm way off and I'm missing something, but I mean, that's like, they're saying those 155 would have got laid off if they couldn't have moved them over to, to Sony, which if that's the case, like, great. I'm glad they're finding them a place without just laying them off. I think that's pretty cool. D3 is coming. I don't know if it is, bro. I think from everything I've heard, Destiny, some of the recent DLC, even though it got good reviews, it did not perform well. I've heard a lot of things, and I don't want to disparage anybody who works at Bungie or even like the players and stuff. There is something about like Bungie as a company, with how their social media team and community team was like working for a little bit there, that is left me like kind of jaded with them a little bit. And so every time like they're like, they're like, we're back, guys, we're really doing this and this and this, and I'm like, but are you? They kind of came off as a little bit of a shady team and company and everything to me for a little bit, and I've definitely kind of been like, I mean, listen, I wasn't a Destiny player in the first place, so now that all that kind of stuff came out, I was like, I'm good. There's no reason for me to ever even look that direction ever again. So I don't know. I think this is kind of crazy, but all of this kind of like these feelings that I kind of had about them, and then I got this article as well, that Bungie CEO has seemingly spent over 2.3 million on classic cars after the Sony acquisition, which is a article by Ethan Gash. Yeah, so all that to be said that, God, this kind of reinforced some of it for me. And again, there's probably tons and tons and tons of fantastic people who work for Bungie. This has nothing against them specifically. Again, nothing against the people who played Bungie or Bungie games. I don't care what you play, you do you. But good Christ, there is definitely some crooked ass people. Sony purchased Bungie, the original studio behind Halo and the makers of Destiny 2, for a whopping $3.6 billion in 2022. Following the sale, Bungie CEO Pete Parsons purchased over 20 classic cars in online online auctions costing millions of dollars, according to his account on the website Bring a Trailer. He continued buying them even after mass layoffs at the studio. It does seem a little bit fishy. Parsons, who has been an executive at Bungie for over 2 decades, has faced lots of public criticism over the last year for Bungie's struggle around the evolution of Destiny 2 and the leadership decisions that led 100 staff to be laid off last October. Exactly what I'm saying. A tweet from the CEO thanking those cut for their contributions to the company was accused of being tone deaf at the time. Even more so, the longtime boss faced calls for resignation again today, even temporarily locking his account on Twitter after announcing that 220 more employees would be laid off. Over 100 others would be transitioning to SIE, and a smaller team would be spun off into a separate PlayStation studio in a deepening integration that reads to some like a final Sony takeover of the once internally independent publisher, which again could be. We were overly ambitious, our financial safety margins were subsequently exceeded, and we began running in the red, Parsons wrote in a blog post. After this new trajectory became clear, we knew we had to change our course in speed, and we did everything we could to avoid today's outcome. Even with exhaustive efforts undertaken across our leadership and product team to resolve our financial challenges, these steps were simply not enough. You probably could have took a little bit of a pay cut, my dude. You probably could have. Probably all those classic cars that you were buying, and probably didn't have to. Bro, what? No shot. They found the cars that he bid on and bought. Oh shit. This is just a taste of them. All right, hold on. That Honda CT70 Trail is actually kind of nice. That's this little thing. Before I seen this article drop, I always think pay cuts. But also, like, listen, I mean, I don't even blame him about this, the little bike thing. $5,600, $5,600. I'm just saying, I as a person wouldn't ever play a Bungie game at this point, because I felt like after a lot of the missteps they had before, I was like, I don't really feel like contributing to that as a person. But I'm saying, if you want to play it, you're more than welcome to. I just know that I won't, and this has really solidified a lot of those things for me at this point. I'm definitely good. I'm good, Bungie. Yeah, let's get into something that's a little less sad before we get into some other really sad shit. God. The last two are crazy, good, and crazy kind of bad. So these next two are pretty okay though. Finally a little bit of a tease for some Squid Games season 2. I haven't checked this out, but yeah, let's take a quick peek.
다시 게임에 참여하시겠습니까?
All right. Yeah. So I knew this was just going to be a quick one because it's just essentially a date reveal. So they are announcing the next season is going to be coming out at the end of this year, which is super cool. Very excited about that. And that they are doing a third season next year. So, and that'll be the final season. Perfect. No notes. I do miss that music though. God damn. Remember when Squid Games first came out and it was fucking everywhere? God, that was a good time. It was also, I think, pandemic time, which was a bad time, but damn, but you remember, guys? Squid Games was huge for a minute there. So I do have an article about this as well, which is by Amelia Zollner. It's been nearly 3 years since Squid Games became Netflix's biggest show and seemingly the internet's favorite thing, spawning an impressive number of Halloween costumes and Roblox knockoffs. Now, its second season finally has a release date, and its third and final was given a release window as well. Today, the team behind Squid Games announced via a teaser trailer that the show's second season will be premiering on Netflix on December 26th. The trailer also revealed that the series has been renewed for a third and final season, which is slated to premiere in 2025 with no official date. 3 years after winning, Squid Games player 456 remains determined to find the people behind the game and put an end to the vicious sport. Using his fortune to fund his research, Gui Hung, I don't remember how you say his name. It's been 3 years, guys. With the most obvious of place. Starts with the most obvious of places. Look for the man in a sharp suit playing Daki in the subway. But when his efforts finally yield results, the path towards taking down the organization proves to be deadlier than he imagined. To end the game, he needs to re-enter it. Ooh. It's like a Hunger Games 2, you know? But yeah. Oh. Oh. Yeah, obviously they're gonna have to get the game back in somehow. You know, they have to do something, right? Let's jump into this next one. 14 people arrested in human trafficking sting at San Diego Comic-Con. This is an article by Alex Stedman. So this is the one that I was kind of saying it's a little bad, but also kind of good because they arrested 14 people and recovered 10 potential victims, guys. I saw this and I was like, wait, what? So let's get into the article a little bit here. Authorities arrested 14 people and recovered 10 potential victims as part of a human trafficking sting that took place at San Diego Comic-Con. Attorney General Rob Bonta announced in a press release on Wednesday. Per the release, the joint investigation between the Attorney General's office and San Diego Human Trafficking Task Force took place from July 25th to 27th at SDCC, the busiest Thursday to Sunday days. Of the 10 potential victims that were recovered and assisted, 9 were adults, and one of them was a 16-year-old juvenile. Good fucking Christ. Ugh. The goal was not only to recover victims, but to target sex buyers at the massive convention that draws more than 100,000 fans each year. As authorities point out, the large influx of people puts events like SDCC at risk. Unfortunately, sex traffickers capitalize on large-scale events such as Comic-Con to exploit their victims for profit. These arrests send a clear message to potential offenders that their criminal behavior will not be tolerated. We are grateful to all of our dedicated partners involved in the SD Human Trafficking Task Force whose collaboration has been invaluable. We take great pride in our office's commitment to uplifting vulnerable Californians by offering them assistance and guidance when they need it most. As part of the 3-day investigation, authorities went undercover looking for contact potential victims and solicit sex buyers in part by posting undercover advertisement. Support services both for adults and juveniles were on the scene to assist as needed. Wow. Here's the thing though. I see this kind of stuff as like the event is so big that it's hard to monitor everything, right? Which means these things can be really great for like when the Attorney General and the Human Trafficking Task Force can kind of come in and be that other part where they can kind of help, where you can start to arrest people, and then also, yeah, you're helping some victims. It's super awesome that happened. The problem is it's such a small step, right? But hopefully this will kind of give people the, you know, some of these other task force and stuff, and you know, these other people, you know, the push to go and start doing this themselves for, you know, some other different events and stuff. It's just, it's really cool to see that this happened, like that they were able to kind of make these arrests, do all that kind of stuff. But it just means that this is a bigger issue than I think a lot of people realize still, and it's happening in places that are you wouldn't necessarily think, because of, hey, San Diego Comic-Con, this is such a big event, there's so much stuff going on and everything like that, and then you're like, bro, what? How does that make sense? Like, how do people get away with something like that? But hopefully this kind of puts a little bit of a little fear into some of those guys of that they can't, you know. I don't know. I'm hoping some good positivity comes out of this. That is the hope deep down, you know. One more quick one. This one was a little bit sad, but also I mean, not that I'm gonna counteract that, but also kind of a wild one, because we don't get to talk about too many companies that aren't gaming companies doing layoffs. This one is actually Intel that has confirmed major rounds of layoff affecting around 15,000 jobs. That is 1,000 jobs. 15,000. This is an article by Taylor Lyles and Alex Stedman. Yeah, Intel is a fucking huge company, a huge corporation. And to see this is pretty crazy. The post-pandemic tech layoff unfortunately continues, as Intel has announced that it is reducing its workforce by the thousands. In its Q2 2024 earnings report, the company confirmed that its plans to reduce headcount by greater than 15%, with the majority completed by the end of 2024. In a note to employees on Thursday, Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger added the company plans to cut around 15,000 roles as part of the plan to save $10 billion in 2025. While acknowledging that it's painful news to share, Gelsinger added, simply put, we must align our cost structure with our new operating model and fundamentally change the way we operate. That is so fucking crazy, though. It is so many people. Our revenue has not grown as expected, and we're yet to fully benefit from powerful trends like AI, he continued. Our costs are too high, our margins are too low. We need bolder action to address both, particularly given our financial results and outlook for the second half of 2024, which is tougher than previously expected. He also wrote that next week we'll announce a company-wide enhanced retirement offering for eligible employees and broadly offer an application program for voluntary departures. These decisions have changed me to my core, and this is the hardest thing I've done in my career, Gelsinger said. My pledge to you is that we will prioritize a culture of honesty, transparency, and respect in the weeks and months to come. But I know where they could find 10 billion. I bet. I think Intel is one of those ones that their chips have been good, but they're just struggling to compete. AMD, Intel, or I was gonna say AMD, Nvidia, and then now Snapdragon are just, they're all making chips, and it's just if you're not the only one making them now, it's hard to compete. The pressure is kind of on. $10 billion is a lot of money. So Intel CEO in 2023 made 16.8 million. So actually pretty crazy, actually. I mean, I thought they would make a lot more, but he doesn't make that much. But that's just his salary. That's nothing else. There could also be some side things. Making headway, yeah, bro. I love AMD. AMD, I think, has been a lot better bang for your buck as far as PC components. So, well, at least for CPUs. Semi-large impact for Intel output. Yeah, because that's right. I didn't even think about that, JB. You're right, man. Apple used to use Intel as their chip manufacturer, but now because they're making them themselves, I don't think they really even offer an Intel chip anymore. Yeah, hopefully they're able to find some jobs somewhere else. Yeah, Intel used to be this huge corporation. They've definitely kind of fallen a little bit, but I know that part of that is just a lot of competition and the change and everything. So the way that the business works, they're definitely looking at the AI stuff, which I mean, I know every company is. So we'll see what ends up happening. If there's any updates or anything, we'll definitely talk about it. But yeah, that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the news. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out, and I will see y'all on the other side.